Hey Jay, we back. Another episode of Zaddy Ball.
Zaddy Ball.
Let's get it. So what's the word on the streets? Obviously you see the name of this video. 49ers Jimmy Garoppolo is still here. He's pulling his best Mike McGlinchey impersonation by saying, "I'm still here." Now there's talk of training camp. There's talk of you have guys like Will Blackman on Twitter saying, "Don't tell me Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be starting for the 49ers next year." How I view the whole situation, just wrapped up elevator pitch, is you cannot bring your ex-wife into the same roof as your current wife. It's not going to work out. You're going to bring your friends over. They're going to lean towards your ex-wife and have that relationship, and then get your current wife all just pissed the hell off. Like, I'm supposed to be the one. It's supposed to be me pulling the Skip Bayless. It's my turn. But let's talk about it. Matt Maiocco's piece. He kind of just broke down what the hell was going on. If you haven't seen it, it's on NBC Sports Bay Area. Maiocco, obviously, in terms of the media, he's the person you probably open your ears up to the most, more than anybody else, because he knows more than anybody else when it comes to the media. So let's go ahead and break it down to where he was like stating this is why the things are sitting currently. What's your takeaway from Matt Maiocco's piece this morning?
Well, I think, again, we're blessed with, Matt and, the job that he does. And I was lucky enough to meet with him at the Combine and speak with him for a little bit. He was very forthcoming with his time and being very nice with us. And he didn't mince words when it came to the whole Jimmy Garoppolo discussion, right? When we were speaking with him at the Combine. And he used the words, it would be pretty insane to even try to run it back or try to have him on this roster. And this was all before we found out about Deshaun Watson and all of those, and Tom Brady and things like that. So it's funny how things change and become fluid. And now Jimmy Garoppolo's market changes. So, but Maiocco was great in this and basically breaking down why this happened. It's not exactly going according to plan for the 49ers. But whatever does when it comes to them. And then I think it begs the question of, did the 49ers get a little too greedy? Did they overplay their hand? And I think that's a discussion that we're having more than anything at this point, because I think that it would be close to insane to try to have Jimmy Garoppolo show up to training camp and take away reps from Trey Lance. So do I know what's going to happen? No. But Matt Maiocco pretty much said that at one way or another, he doesn't believe that he's going to be here for that long, Jimmy Garoppolo, like that far down the line. So I'm going to listen to him. He, is one of the most dialed in guys, one of the nicest guys that I've met that has covered the team. But yeah, I mean, he didn't mince words then. And it felt like this article was very matter of fact, very level headed, and very informed in terms of knowing the timeline, knowing that certain things happened before this, and now this is where you are, and this is the reason that you are at the spot that you're in. And he didn't really mince words in the article as well.
So when Jimmy Garoppolo was moved, because I do not, as we sit today, what is it, March 22nd, 2022.
Yep.
I had to say the whole date since guys like DJ Reed like to cut clips and then post it on their highlight tape later.
Own that Jets player.
So as it says today, I don't see a situation where Jimmy Garoppolo is in a 49ers uniform, whether it's just on the practice field. I do not see that situation happening. So that being said, once it gets done, should the 49ers put up a banner at Levi's 2022 traded Jimmy Garoppolo? Like, is that the place we're in right now?
No, Leo, but I will say this. To quote the great Andrew Pasquini, I'm tired. I am very tired. And I don't want to I don't want to be dramatic because we're just talking about a football team. What I'm tired of is the same discussion, the one that has had no new points, the one that is dominating everything that we could be talking about with the 49ers, who they should be targeting in the draft, how do they fill the holes on this team.
Yeah.
All of those things should be spoken about right now, but they're not. And it's because of Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm tired, Leo. I don't know if I can go through another training camp, preseason, OTAs. I can't go through this again. I can't do this again. And it's one, redundant. Two, it's not doing anything because nobody's made a different point or a new point since the discussion has been largely the same around Jimmy Garoppolo. Even the most ardent Jimmy supporter and the biggest Jimmy hater will both tell you at the same point, he's average. But then they hate each other on both sides. And then also, quite frankly, it's boring. It's boring. I'm tired of it. It's boring. I don't want to keep talking about it. I feel like if there was a physical embodiment or a verbal embodiment of beating a dead horse, this is it. And it's boring. It just is, man. The thing that gave me hope, or not hope, I guess satisfaction after the 49ers lost in the NFC Championship was that you're turning the page. And you know where your team is going now. Trey Lance. Does that mean that now everything that's happening, that's not on plan? No. But March 22nd, we didn't think we'd be sitting here in the new league year with Jimmy Garoppolo still on his roster. And I don't think the 49ers front office thought so either. But here we are. And things change. And something's got to happen. But yeah, there's a larger discussion that needs to be had about this front office, how they approach things. Maybe they kind of bet on themselves a little bit too much here and they lost out. And what's their actual plan with free agents? And I'm sure we'll get to all of that like while we're talking and everything, because there's a lot of people that blame whatever inactivity they feel the 49ers have had with free agents on Jimmy Garoppolo. I have thoughts on that, and I have a take on that as well too. But yeah, I mean, right now, it's still a mess. It's just a mess right now. And this is just it. You're seeing quarterbacks, Marcus Mariota, Jameis Winston, Matt Ryan with that dead cap hit. Atlanta's taking on a $41 million dead cap hit, the highest in the league history, to move him to Indy.
Just for a third. They're taking that cap hit just for a third. It's not like, Indy, give us a first. Even though Indy doesn't have a first this year because that's going to Philly. Indy, give us a first of 2023 because we're taking on $40 million. No, they said, screw it. We're going to hit the reset button and move on. And they don't have a backup plan. They don't have a Trey Lance sitting there. And they still did it. Now, where has the 49ers been? But where have the 49ers been of recent, especially 2 of the last 3 years, Super Bowl, NFC Championship? Where has the Atlanta Falcons been? Watching the playoffs each of those 3 years. So we could talk about, the 49ers front office is way more trusted than the Atlanta front office, although I believe this is only going into year 2 for Atlanta. So the whole regime's not there for the past 3 years. So we could talk about the differences based on the achievement of the team compared to what's going on in Atlanta and San Francisco. But the thing is, We have a plan in place, and we're still being reluctant to pull the trigger compared to a team that has no plan in place. Now, we can make the case that Atlanta's dumb for it, but they still did it. And we're
And they
holding
have
out
the
for a
eighth pick.
what?
Well, and they
What's the
have the eighth
rumors?
pick.
John Lynch 2-2s?
Yeah.
Is
Well,
that the word on the street?
the
Well, why
the New
wasn't the
York
trigger
the
pulled? Come on.
because Jimmy turned down Washington, I think. I don't know, man. This is all again, when we get the tell-all book from someone who is in that room that's gonna tell us everything, we'll have a better grasp. Right now, we're Leo and I are all of you that are watching right now that are in the
All of
comment
you.
section that really don't understand what's going on and are trying to put it together. There's a few people that are like, well, why don't you get it? Because it makes no sense is why we don't get it, and there is no sort of like logical immediate explanation for it. Like exactly.
I need
And
fireworks coming out of this.
Hendricks, I also got to say, when you refer to him as the big ass elephant, make sure you refer to him as the name that I gave him on Grant Cohn's show, the big ass handsome elephant in the room.
Ooh.
Make sure you get that one out there too.
Yeah. It's Bay Area Baller 18. He's ready to show up at Levi's with the sign. with
Eric,
the
whip
sign.
their ass, man. Whip their
Yeah.
ass. My trade request, it was at first granted permission, and now the 49ers are not allowing me to seek out other teams to cover at this point. So I don't know. I mean, I guess they thought that they would be getting more for me, and they don't like the market, so they're gonna hold on to me into training camp real quick just to see
No, man.
if another team gets desperate for me to come cover them.
No, man. See, like, what's gonna happen? That's my big thing is like, you hold on to him in training camp. Some team's magically gonna give you a 2, a 1. Like, it's magically gonna happen. So you're banking this whole situation on somebody getting hurt. You're banking this situation off of a Teddy Bridgewater in Minnesota situation. Is that what we're doing here? Because
You're
how
hoping for
often?
an injury.
Yeah, how often do QBs go into week 1 due to an injury in training camp? How often does that happen? When was the last time? When was the last time
Uh,
someone got injured in training camp and couldn't play week 1?
and then I mean, here's the thing: Jimmy Garoppolo is not going to restructure his contract, and anybody that you want to sign, if he is on there, if you want to sign them, you have to restructure, extend certain guys, and just do it that way. But Jimmy Garoppolo is not a backup either, man. Oh my
How many
god,
years ago
man!
was this? Like,
Yeah,
is that the situation? And like you said, you just said it. Jimmy Garoppolo is not a backup. I believe that fully. He's a top 20 quarterback in this league. You can obviously win with him. You can obviously win playoff games with him. I guess we could say, despite of him, you can win those playoff games. Fitzpatrick actually played week 1. He got
he did.
injured during I think week
He
2.
got injured during the season. That's when it was Heineke. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just like, with Jimmy Garoppolo, he's not a backup, as you alluded to. If they said, screw it, Jimmy, come to practice. If they force their hand, like I said previously, I'm not backpedaling on my word. I don't think that's going to happen. As we sit here March 22nd, I don't think that's going to happen. But if I'm wrong, 49ers bring him out to practice. You're not giving Jimmy Garoppolo 100% QB2 snaps. That means Jimmy Garoppolo is taking away time from Trey Lance. You already clearly have moved on to Trey Lance at this point. So what happened last season? Despite all the BS, you were a fourth quarter away from a Super Bowl appearance. I tip my cap to you. You proved me wrong. You achieved things that I didn't think you could achieve given the situation. You overachieved given the situation. But to have that overachievement just for this huge backpedal and see Jimmy Garoppolo back in camp again? What the hell are we doing? Like, and I say we because we are emotionally invested in this team, given they win, given they lose, who they sign, who they don't sign. We pretend it's our own money when it's not. This is our team that we cheer for.
Right. And another thing is, if you don't believe that the 49ers are in a weird spot right here, not believing that they would have ever been in this spot, Look no further than the money that they gave guaranteed to Nate Sudfeld to be a backup.
Yes.
That's backup money. That's
Yes.
not third quarterback on your roster money. The 49ers believed it would be Trey Lance and Nate Sudfeld. But now, Jimmy Garoppolo, you've already signed Nate Sudfeld, that's done, and Trey Lance. And now when you start to think about the money that you're allocating towards the quarterback position as a whole, it becomes even worse now. Because now you're getting into the $30-35 million for 3 quarterbacks, one of which is on a rookie quarterback wage scale, and the other who is a career backup. You get it? There's a lot going on right now. And look, what I will say is that Jimmy Garoppolo being on this salary cap and on their books right now is not the reason that you don't have the guys that you want here. And I'm talking about you guys, fans. Some of you wanted J.C. Jackson. Some of you wanted Chandler Jones. Some of you wanted, whatever, in our wildest dreams, Allen Robinson, whatever it is, right? Like whoever it is that you want. I don't think that that's the reason. Now, what I want to preface that by saying is that they have a philosophy that they go to where they have a set budget for a player. And if that player comes in and he wants to adhere to that budget, which also means you take a pretty sizable chunk of your money early on, and then you become a year-to-year thing, just like Charvarius Ward is, just like basically all the 49ers have done in terms of that, right? One, you do that, but then two, the problem is, and this is the problem with Jimmy Garoppolo's money being around here, is it doesn't give you wiggle room to negotiate. J.C. Jackson's across from you. You say 17, he says 19, but you can't do $2 million more, even if you wanted to, even if that was part of your changing philosophy, which the 49ers have shown it's not. They overpay certain people, which is a little bit head-scratching, but then they do it in a way where it's upfront, and then year to year, it's just a one-year deal, one-year deal, one-year deal, one-year deal. Every year, you are basically playing for your spot. And this is just how the 49ers operate. When everybody was yelling about, why did you sign Quan Alexander? Why did you sign Jerick McKinnon? Yeah, you gave him all that money up front. And then after that is, okay, year to year, we can make moves on you and keep ourselves flexible. So when you think about that, and then you think about the way that all of this has transpired, it doesn't feel good right now. And it feels like the 49ers are in a similar spot as us, right? I mean, I'm sure that they've, I guess, prepared themselves for something like this, but they definitely didn't think that this was going to happen. This wasn't on the range of possibilities for them that were high up on the list because they gave Nate Sudfeld backup money right away. Boom, guaranteed money. Because you know why? We're going to move Jimmy Garoppolo. Yeah, well, now it's March 22nd. You got 3 quarterbacks and you got that amount of money that's allotted to them with one guy who doesn't want to be, shouldn't be there anymore because you've moved on. I don't know if he wants to be here. Maybe he does. He just wants to mess things up.
He said goodbye to the press. He said goodbye.
That's what I'm saying. And so it just, none of this feels weird, man. I don't know, man.
So when Jay says 49ers have that set number and they don't budge, that may be what they're doing here with Jimmy Garoppolo's trade market. They set that price and they're not budging. See DeForest Buckner. It's been pretty known out there. And if you haven't heard yet, they were about $2 million off on negotiations per year. That number was about $2 million off. And the 49ers did not budge, and they traded him to the Colts, obviously. So when Jay mentions J.C. Jackson, that's a realistic scenario because they did it to a guy who did not miss time at all, logged 1,000 snaps one year. They did it to him. So, of course, they will do the same thing with free agents. That's why I never seen Chandler Jones as an option, Stephon Gilmore as an option. I'm happy with Charvarius Ward. That's their big ticket free agent signing. I'm happy the kid's 25 years old.
And they identified him. That was clearly what they wanted to do. That's another thing. And that's another thing Maiocco pointed out is that, again, we have this allotted and we have this money that we're going to spend, and that's your target, right? It doesn't have to make sense to us. It didn't make sense when it was Quan Alexander right off the bat. Didn't make sense when it was Jerick McKinnon right off the bat. Didn't make sense when it was Malcolm Smith right off the bat. But go ahead. I'm sorry, Leo.
No, you're fine. Let's go ahead and get this to this donation from Cap Speaking. Appreciate you, my guy. I have the solution, boys. 3-team trade: Niners, Browns, Panthers. Jimmy to Browns holds down for Watson suspension, which is a real thing. Mayfield to
if
Panthers.
Go ahead. Mayfield of Panthers.
Mayfield
Go
to
ahead.
Panthers, second to Niners. We all live happily ever after.
From your mouth to God's ears, Cap speaking. Here's the thing, too, is the Browns are preparing for a Deshaun Watson suspension. If you look at the way the contract was written, the first year is the minimum deal, right? So if he does get suspended, he's not going to lose out on a ton of salary. Everything is guaranteed regardless. So if he loses out on his little measly $3 million or whatever it is this year, it'll be fine. He'll have his suspension off the books and then boom, that's it. He can just roll right back in and make all his money back as well too. So just notice in the way that the contract's written is that the Browns believe that they're insulating themselves one way or another. And then that's why they went ahead and they made a move. They moved Case Keenum for Jacoby Brissett. So the Browns are kind of telling you what they think about the situation. Plus, we also, found out today that the Browns did a whole bunch of due diligence. They spent 30 whole minutes trying to figure out what was going on with Deshaun Watson, man. These guys really dug in, and they wanted to make sure that they got all the information that's what's going on with Deshaun Watson. So 30 minutes, I salute you, Cleveland Browns, man. You guys really know how to vet out and do your here's the term, due diligence. We missed one more too. Go back up. We missed one more.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to that after because this is the same topic.
Yeah.
Trade Jimmy back to Eastern Illinois so he can develop. He's 30 and isn't ready yet. Rolling eyes. So appreciate you.
Sit behind someone for a year.
Yeah, appreciate you. Official BNA music for the donation.
As always, question.
Yeah, man. It's passer ratings in the 70s for the playoffs, the 3 games, and look what 49ers still did. It's just insane. Roll with Trey Lance, and see what happens. Live with the bruises. Hell, we're living with the bruises with Jimmy Garoppolo, and a lot of it is, young quarterback mistakes. So NC Niner fan, appreciate you for the donation. Oh my God, we lost our nickel DB. Jay, let's talk about it. K'Wan Williams. Signed with the Denver Broncos. I don't know how many corners they need because it seems like they have a bunch. They have some young guys like Omate. Yeah, so it's never bad when you add players to the secondary. It's never bad. What do you do here? Like, what's the plan? Is the plan draft? Is the plan Diamador Lenore? Is the plan kick E-Man inside during nickel and bring Ambry on the outside? Like, what's the plan? That's the question mark here. Because we're more than a week after the legal tampering has opened up. And dude, like, no slot nickel corner. Like, yes, this does over years. This does tend to be a slow developing market. These slot nickel corners, they don't tend to sign day 1, 2, 3. And there's quality ones. So when you have your tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 3 to tier 2 is not that much of a difference, like it is a quarterback position, like it is the corner position on the outside. Inside nickel, there's a lot of good ones out there. Last year was a pretty heavy market, and you could get these guys for no more than $5 million. And as we saw, K1 signed for about 3.5. What's your thought level on this? Let's talk something other than quarterback.
Yeah, no. But I think you laid it out perfectly, right? There is a world where, all right, look, I know you guys don't want to hear this because of the cap situation, right? But there is a world where the 49ers are still in on Stephon Gilmore, right? You find a way to shake some money around, you move it around, and then, okay, what does that mean for Emmanuel Mosley? And I think Leo laid it out perfectly. You talked about Charvarius Ward, Stephon Gilmore, and then Emmanuel Mosley in the slot. I'm fine with that. I am fine with that. That's absolute depth as well, too. If one of those guys misses time, then you can move Emmanuel Mosley in and you feel great about that. Okay. Another way to look at it is, what if Jason Verrett returns? Jason Verrett on one side. Now Charvarius Ward. Now Emmanuel Mosley in the slot. There's many ways that they can go about this. The 49ers have, at least in this way, played their hand, I would say, in the proper way. And then there's always this one. Ambry Thomas, Emmanuel Mosley, Charvarius Ward, or Charvarius Ward, Emmanuel Mosley, and Diamador Lenore as the slot, right? So you have many options. I don't think this is as dire of a need as people are portraying it. But I do want to not underestimate how important K1 was or how hard it is to play nickel corner. I think that a lot of people have it, oh, what's his coverage skills like? I think that it's a little bit lost in the fact that that's completely different than playing outside corner. You have to know your run fits. You have to be able to identify your keys. You're essentially a linebacker on the field that can cover at that point, right? So you have to be able to do everything else. No one's going to allow you to just stay there and be a nickel corner if you can't execute, tackle on the outside, tackle on tough downs, on third down, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, things like that. If you're closer in that way. So I don't want to downplay that, but the 49ers do have many options that they have, still on the table that can upgrade the position a little bit. I don't want to talk crazy, right? Because Mosley needs to learn the things that K1's good at, i.e., nickel blitzes at the right time, understanding all of those things, run fits, and being able to make plays when you can, because it's not as easy as just, oh, well, he played outside, kick him inside, it should be fine. I don't know if that's necessarily true, but there is a way where the 49ers can upgrade, I think, if everything falls their way and people progress to the way that they should. So this one feels like there's a little bit more light at the end of the tunnel than the situation that's at hand right now with the quarterback as well too. So happy for KK. Shout out Patterson, New Jersey. Way to go, buddy. I thought you would have went right back to MetLife, but hey, you got paid. Happy for you, bro. And go whip their ass over there in Denver, man. Denver's sneaky, man. They're really, really good, man. They're just loading up right now.
What's your thought on a guy like Bryce Callahan? The Broncos took ours. Yeah, they took our nickel. Let's take their nickel. It's
right.
Indirect trade, player for player trade, right? Like, what's your thought on Bryce Callahan? Because I think he's a hell of a nickel corner. When he came from the Chicago Bears to Denver, he actually got paid pretty handsomely. And he's out on the market, and that's kind of why that the Denver Broncos went out and got a guy like K1. Whether they think he's cheaper or he's a better scheme fit, that's a different discussion. But do you think Bryce Callahan can fit this defense? And obviously he's a plug and play starter, but do you think that it's a good fit here?
I think he can, but I don't think they will. I don't know. I mean, it's just again, I think that they have too many options within. And with the money that they're able to spend right now, I think they can only look within now at this point. You can only look to bring guys back. You really can't look to go outside of that, because if guys have competing offers at this point right now, with the flexibility that you have, you don't have much. So you still have to be able to play around with your guys. So, and I think that's kind of where the 49ers are. And that's why I say I don't really feel that Jimmy Garoppolo is impacting this free agency as much as people believe, because it's a philosophy thing. Parag, you walk in. What do you want? I want 19. Nope. Can't. Computer says no. Get out. Get out. Like, it's just how it is. And also, there's a really good question in here. Brand new just asked it. Who's better, Dom Kennedy or Larry June? I am going to.
Yeah, I was going to post that up for you.
I am going to say Larry June right now. That's recency bias. I've been listening to Water in My Plants and a bunch of records that I found when I went to LA and everything. There you go, Nate. But yeah, Larry June is pretty dope, man. So yeah, just to deviate a little bit further from football talk. So
no, I was actually going to post that for you when you were done. I didn't want to get you off track there, but it's what if you had to give this offseason so far one word to summarize it, what would it be?
Chaotic. And not in terms of what the 49ers have done with their free agency moves, the Jimmy Garoppolo thing. And here we are, once again, the 49ers, center of the circus universe for the NFL. It's funny. I know 49er fans don't want to hear it. And we largely laugh at other teams. Oh, look at how much of a mess they are. Oh, they can't even do anything right. Look at the Cowboys. Look at what just happened.
Mm-hmm.
How different are the 49ers and their organization and the way things have been run in terms of clickbait, stupid news, John Lynch liking a tweet after the Tennessee game, all this stuff about, Mac to 3, all this stuff, and like, now Jimmy's shoulder surgery and like, this team is just in the same lane as the teams that you make fun of in terms of chaos in their front office. I guarantee you, if this was the Jaguars and all this stuff was happening and they had Trevor Lawrence sitting there and they just like decided to run it back with somebody else, you guys would be like, wow, what a bunch of dumbasses. Man, their organization is run so poorly. Hey, we're all 49er fans, but you better start looking at your team like, yo, you guys are not exactly running the tightest ship. Let me backtrack even further. Last year's process, right? No Stafford, no Brady, no Teddy, no Darnold, no this guy, no this guy, no this guy. Oh, trade for Trey Lance. That was plan Z. Are they like moving are they moving with a plan, or are they just moving by the seat of their pants? And that's the 49ers. It's really bad, man. And I know we're all fans of the same team, but this chaos and everything, everyone else is looking at us and laughing because nothing looks like they have a plan or they saw any of this coming. All of this stuff looks like they're getting it for the first time. What do you mean the Colts, moved on for a third for Matt Ryan? What do you mean that these guys didn't want Jimmy Garoppolo and they're just going to run it back with Jameis Winston? What do you mean that Atlanta wants Marcus Mariota? They're all sitting there like they have no idea what's going on. So again, we're all 49ers fans. And of course, yeah, we're better than the Cowboys. I'm talking about that. But you better start looking at your team as the same TMZ sort of tabloids, all over the top circus type atmosphere, because that's what they are right now at this point. We don't have to make stuff up. We don't have to make anything up about this team. We don't have to make up no stories. All we got to do is report on this team. This team is the most clickbait team out there that you can cover, I think, at this point, man. And we don't have to do anything. We don't have to do anything. We have to do nothing but exist and wake up, read the reports, and then just get in here in front of the camera and just be like, hey, man, look at all this nonsense and this chaos, man. I know we're 49ers fans, but this is ridiculous. It's March 22nd, and we're talking about this quarterback still being here when you clearly moved on from him after you sold the farm to move up to pick 3. I don't know what else needs to be said.
So I get the whole 49ers, try to take advantage of the young quarterback situation. Let's go ahead and spend. Ultimately, what teams do you see spending big in free agency? I'm talking about paying the price for 3 to 4 guys. A lot of championship contending teams usually take 1 or 2, but what championship contending teams do you see paying 3 to 4 guys? You don't. They're usually the teams that have a lot of holes to fill, that try to look for a quick Band-Aid. The 49ers, they have holes to fill. Yeah. But is it a major holes to fill? No, because they have franchise guys under contract. They have Fred Warner under contract. They have George Kittle under contract. Trent Williams under contract. Jimmy Ward under contract. They're going to pay Nick Bosa. They're going to pay Deebo Samuel. So they have these franchise cornerstones already. We may say, the cap isn't real. It is, but, it's flexible. It's bendable to a certain point because you have your contract renegotiations, all that stuff. But the teams you see spending big in free agency, I'm talking about paying a price for 3 to 4 guys, are teams that don't have franchise cornerstones already under long-term deals.
That's a good point.
Like the 49ers have. So you're asking for an impossible scenario. At most, they could have paid was 2 guys, essentially, and then all of the rest would have been low-end guys. You want to build this team, that has good depth, that they're not 2 injuries away from being incompetent. You want to build this team to where a starter goes down, you have a serviceable guy right there. Whether it comes from the draft, that's probably perfect because those are rookie contracts. They're a whole lot cheaper than going through a free agency route, which that's why the Rams won this year, is because they've been hitting on their limited draft picks. I think I saw, their 2017 or 2018 draft class. They all got extended to new deals. Good time deals, whether it was with the Rams or with a different team. So, Cardinals going all in. Yeah, a lot of that's trades.
Well, all right.
DeAndre Hopkins, like the one free agent signing was what? JJ Watt? So JJ Watt's going all in?
No, well, here's the
Rams
thing.
going all in. That's all trades. Jalen
No,
Ramsey, Von Miller. A lot of that's trades. It's
yeah,
not free agency.
so yeah, the 49ers, right, are literally the anti-Rams. Let me explain. The Rams' cornerstone guys, aside from Aaron Donald, are all outside talent. The 49ers' cornerstone guys that they have are all guys they drafted and they had to
Right.
pay, right?
Right.
And also, because they drafted them and you afford yourself those rookie contracts, right, in certain spots, you still have a loaded roster where you can let
Mm-hmm.
guys walk and you can still bring them back. Like, as of right now, the odds for the 49ers to be back in the Super Bowl are pretty high. And they still haven't really done anything splashy at this point, right? Like, this is under the assumption that Trey Lance is going to take over this team and they're going to bring back certain guys and that stuff, right? So the 49ers and the Rams are such a interesting parallel. The Rams, as Brian Peacock from Locked On 49ers, I want to make sure I don't, steal this from him. The Rams are stars and scrubs, right? You got your top 5 guys, you got your top 6 guys, and they're studs, and then everybody else, you're just filling the roster out, and you're just trying to get guys in there who can. The 49ers cornerstone guys are all guys they drafted, and they've done their job in that way. But as you said, I think this is a great point that you bring up. The 49ers have a claim to best tight end in football, best linebacker in football, best fullback in football, best left tackle in football. That's not cheap. Best offensive weapon in football. That's not going to be cheap. The best edge rusher in football. That's not going to be cheap, right? So the 49ers are starting to think forward. Now, look, the cap is booming. Cool. There's ways to manipulate it and everything. But I think the parallel that you just outlined, basically, about the Rams guys are all out of town, brought in, and they went all in that way, is like it's directly contradicting what the 49ers have done, which is all their top-end talent, Eric Armstead, Deebo Samuel, Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, George Kittle, they were all drafted. They're all in-home guys. So I think the best way to put a bow on all of this is there's different ways to cook a soup, skin a cat. And if it ends in a Super Bowl, I don't care how you do it. Whether it's the people that you have in your house or it's the people that you bring in from outside. I don't care. But I just think that there are parallels, and it's really distinct in terms of the way that two different franchises operate while, having sustained success, which, the Rams, the 49ers have been in, two straight, two times, deep playoff runs. So it's just funny how all of these things work out in terms of roster building and how people look at things.
So, Jessica, I agree, or I hear you that you don't agree with my take, or you don't like my take on this. They spending money taking risks, but are they really spending money? They traded for Von Miller. They spent draft capital to take risk. Von Miller costed them less than $1 million last year. It's not like they broke the bank to acquire Von Miller. They didn't break the bank to acquire OBJ. They got lucky he cleared waivers and landed on their team. When was the last time they spent big money on a guy in free agency? Andrew Whitworth. Obviously, Allen Robinson. I was going to say that, but before Allen Robinson, Andrew Whitworth. That was the last time. That was the Jared Goff era. You know what the Rams spent last offseason? They signed 6 players in free agency. The sum of that was $7 million. About just over $1 million a piece. So they're not big spenders in free agency. They're doing their thing through, tradings and, like Jay said, getting guys from other teams, making those guys their cornerstone players, like Marcus Peters, like they drafted Cooper Kupp, like a Matthew Stafford. They traded for him as well. They didn't sign Matthew Stafford. That's the thing. That's my pet peeve every offseason is they go, even during the season, when you heard them talking about the Rams and they go, oh, they signed Von Miller. No, they traded for Von Miller. They didn't sign his ass. They traded for him. I just hate that illusion. You don't have to spend big in order to be players in this league the next season in free agency. You get one guy to fill a hole, cool. But you don't see these top big spenders, 3-4 players, you don't see it. 49ers got one. They did something. They got a major one as well. And very needed. You can make a case if Charvarius Ward is on this roster in the NFC Championship game that they're in the Super Bowl.
Yes.
You can make a case for it. I'm not guaranteeing it, but I'm saying you can make a case for it.
No, but also, people who aren't as high on Ambry Thomas, because I can tell you in 2 breaths that I believe he improved, and he's still not enough.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I can say both. I can say both things. I can say both of those things. Did he show improvement? Yes. Is he enough? I'm still not convinced as of right now. Plenty of guys have popped out for 5-6 games, whatever it is, and played well. But obviously the 49ers weren't comfortable with that either. So let's just talk about that. If you were so comfortable with the way that Ambry played and the way that people are talking about, then why'd you sign Charvarius Ward? And Emmanuel Mosley's better than Ambry Thomas. I'm not here to debate that. So it's good to have depth, but then again, you drafted Ambry Thomas where?
Round 3.
What could you have done with that pick at this point if you were going to go sign Charvarius Ward, who is 26?
He's not age 26 season. He's 25 now, so but it'll be his age 26
So he's not
season.
this. Yeah, this isn't Richard Sherman in 2019.
Yep.
You invested, right? Emmanuel Mosley and Charvarius Ward, both undrafted free agents. One got the bag. Good for him, man. But, the 49ers are telling you what they feel about their cornerback situation.
Mm-hmm.
That's not my opinion. Because if they were cool with that, they could have spent that money somewhere else. But they knew they wanted Charvarius Ward. That was the one target that they had that they circled. And they went right to. Why? Now, it doesn't have to make sense to us. It's just who they identified. And you know what? I see the vision. Whether that works out or not is completely different. But I see the vision. You see an ascending player, a guy who was very good last year, caused the most tight window throws, all of those next-gen stats, everything that's out there for you. I don't want to look at interceptions because, again, interceptions sometimes come down to luck. Jimmy Ward got 2 interceptions this year on batted balls. Mm-hmm. So that's luck.
We're both from KK batted?
Yes. No. The first, no. The second interception in the Rams game on Monday Night Football or Sunday Night Football, whatever it was. It was Monday Night Football. Was off of a Higbee drop. Higbee had it.
I meant the first one against the Rams, and
the
then
first one
in
NFC Championship. Yeah, but then the one that he got so he got 3 interceptions this year, and it were all against the Rams. The first one was a punt. And then the second one was that screen to Higbee where he just he bungled it and passed it to Ward.
Yes.
If that doesn't show you how inconsistent interceptions can be, then I don't know what it is. Yes, there's ball hawks. There's guys who make plays on the ball. They have ball skills. I get that. But a large part of interceptions have to do with luck. They really do. So the 49ers were telling you. Yeah, the 49ers were telling you what they were doing the entire time with the cornerback situation. If they thought it was cool to run Ambry and Emmanuel Mosley, they wouldn't have signed Charvarius Ward. They just wouldn't have at all. And they could have used that money. Right, that's what I'm saying. They could have used that money. Y'all want Tyrann Mathieu? They could have brought him in. Y'all want Bobby Wagner? They could have brought him in. I'm not saying that those are the right moves. I'm just saying that the front office prioritized him, and they chose him, and that's the reason that you see some of the things happening. Yeah. I'm not a Knicks fan, man. It's just a hard jacket, man. The Knicks suck. Who cares, man? Hey, man, if you think that's bad juju, the Knicks, the Niners ain't won a bowl since 95. The Knicks don't got nothing to do with that, man, at all, bro. It's just a hard jacket. Y'all just, going too far right now at this point, man. Nobody like the Knicks.
Hey, why you got to remind us since 95, my dude?
Hey,
why
whatever,
you got to
man.
do that?
It is what it
why
is.
you got to go
is
there?
What it is, bro.
Why are you the way you are?
Because now y'all turning me to angry New Yorker now. You know what I'm saying? It's just a shirt. It's just a Mitchell and Ness shooting jacket. That's it, bro. That's all it is. I don't root for the Knicks. The Knicks are trash.
You could probably flip that for an easy $250, $300.
It'd be more than I paid for it, but yeah.
No, that's clean. I
You
remember
guys
when
got
I
the 50 patch, man. What you talking about, man? It's a straight from
yeah.
the Mitchell and Ness store in Philly, man. What you talking about?
No, I remember
Tired of
when I
y'all.
played with the Knicks on 2K that I would put on those uniforms with the black on the side, in which that's where it
Yeah,
comes from. That's
this is
clean.
this yeah, this is
Yeah.
it. This is like the only good legit jersey jacket that they had or whatever. But yeah, the Knicks suck. The hell?
Hey, should we talk about returner now? Ray McLeod,
Trade Jimmy
2-year
to the
deal
Knicks.
worth up to
They would take on his
10.4.
contract. You can't trade Jimmy to the Yankees. The Yankees wouldn't take his contract because handshake emoji, the Yankees, the Niners, not spending money in free agency.
Yo, it's weird seeing the Yankees like not bring guys in, like Freddie Freeman saying he did not want to go there. Like
I
it's
wouldn't
just
want to go there
weird.
either.
It's
Tired of
just
that. I'm
weird.
tired of those bozos in the Bronx, man. I'm tired of that. You can't even have yeah, the Knicks do suck. You can't even have a mustache or anything like that. Yeah, man. That's it.
Yo, if I was a professional baseball player, I wouldn't sign with them just for that reason. Now,
That's it.
obviously, if that was
I
my only offer on the table, I'd be kind of stuck. But just for that reason, I'm like,
look,
hell no, I ain't shaving. You don't want to see
this
me shave,
beard,
man.
I grew it because the world ended. So if you think that I'm gonna shave it because you wanna, I guess whatever the word is, like have some sort of standard, I'm not signing with y'all, man. Nah, forget the Yankees, bro. I just go to Yankee Stadium because it's a place that you can stand outside when it's nice out, have a beer, and enjoy some atmosphere. I really don't care.
100% right here. 100%. Ray McLeod, what does this do for the 49ers here? 2-year deal worth up to 10.4 million. Could we see some gadget like roles? Yeah, we can, sure. But I think this was a desperate need for some return status. We haven't seen anything electric that's not Debo Samuel since what, Richie James Jr. in 2018. That's how long it's been. So what does this do for this 49ers team?
Uh, it addresses a need. Um,
I'll say
it
this, as well as George Odom, who I keep wanting to call Greg for whatever reason. George
Greg
Odom.
Oden.
The 49ers are putting their money where their mouth is, basically, for how bad the special teams was last season. That's what they're gearing up for. Because they signed Odom, they signed the linebacker from Green Bay, who was efficient as well, and then they signed Ray McLeod. They have Demetrius Flanagan-Foles, who was a good special teamer. Hufanga was a good special teamer. You have 5 solid pieces there. Burks, as Uncle Salty wrote in the comments there. Like, what does this mean for this team? Obviously, they have the greatest kicker of all time when you look at his contract with Robbie Gould. Like,
No Robbie
what do
Gold
you
slander. How dare you? Do not.
great according to his contract, greatest kicker of all time, guaranteed money. He no, I'm not going to go there. Um, he's it is what it is. So, what do you think about what does this say about this team? The way they're gearing up for special teams, because it's a little different. You don't see that in free agency too often.
They are sticking to their plan as at least they do in free agency, because they didn't really have a plan in terms of quarterback, right? Like they were just going like from A to B to C to D, like all the way through. But it's clear that the 49ers wanted to beef this up. The 49ers are literally made the NFC Championship because their special teams and defensive unit were impeccable in those games. But I think they know that they lost a bunch of games, on the back of free agency. The 49ers have legit not had a good returner of the football in any fashion since Ted Ginn.
Thank you. Yep.
Let me repeat that real quick. Ted Ginn, 2011.
My back didn't hurt then.
11 years ago, Ted Ginn was your returner. He won a game against the Seattle Seahawks with 2 returns early on. I remember. I wasn't there. I wasn't outside. I'm from New York, so I'm not like yeah, like I wasn't outside like that. But I remember. And I also remember they lost an NFC Championship game because he wasn't healthy enough to play in that game. And that's something the 49ers have been chasing for a while. Like, Richie James had 1 touchdown return.
Yeah.
I watched Calvin Austin in Mobile catch a punt
Oh,
and
you
then
going
advance
there?
it.
You going
Yeah.
there? Calvin
And then
Austin, you going
advance
there?
it. And I was like, wait. Hold on. That means you can catch the punt and then you can advance it up the field? What? How?
You didn't see this?
No, he didn't. He didn't fair catch it. He stepped back, he caught it, and then he dodged players and he gained yards.
Wow, what does
Imagine
that
that.
look like? I forgot.
I don't know what I was shocked. And everyone was just looking at me like that's not that cool. And I was just like, you clearly haven't watched the 49ers for a long time.
I don't know
Like the
what I
40
remember more. Like calculus is a little foggy to it's not little, hella foggy to me at this point, and not fair catching a punt is hella foggy to me too. Like I don't know which one I remember more at this point.
Yeah, listen, man. Um the 49ers have addressed a position that they need. If you look
A
at certain
unit.
games,
A
yeah,
unit.
there are certain games where special teams changes games, flips the field. I'm going to point to a game that the 49ers were actually in which, yes, the offense on the other side was rolling, but the guy who was returning every single punt, kick, everything was moving it in such a way that they were always in an advantageous spot on their side of the field, if not on the other side of the field. And that's the 2019 game against the Saints.
Yes,
I
Deontay
want
Harris.
I want you
Or
guys to pull that back up.
he
Yeah,
changed
I
his
want you guys
last
to
name
pull
now.
Harris.
No, he changed his last name. But yes, it's Deontay Harris.
Deontay Harris. Yeah.
Oh, he changed
There's
it to
something
Hardy.
about
Deontay Hardy. No.
okay. There's something about starting your possessions on the 40 of your side of the field or on the other side of the field. And that's exactly what he did. And now you are in striking distance. The defense has to step back. They're on their heels a little bit, right? Because they're waiting for you to take a shot. Those sort of things have not been afforded to the 49ers in a long time. And there's three facets of the game: offense, defense, special teams. Offense will hold up what they need to do. Defense is a top 5 unit. We know that. Special teams. Special teams.
I need to get at God real quick.
God? God himself?
Yes, God himself.
No.
Jimmy G, by God, says he is 5-2 in the playoffs. He's handsome AF too.
He is, though. I mean,
well, yeah, you made him handsome.
Nothing that God said right there was a lie.
And he's saying, how is that bad? Jimmy G being
nobody said that was bad. Nobody
it's
said that
not
was
bad, but come on, like Jimmy takes y'all deep in the playoffs. It's like, come on, did we watch that Dallas game? Did we
God, I know
did we watch the Packers game? Did we watch the Rams game?
Hold on. Look, God, I know that I've prayed to you for stupid things, right? Like things that are trivial, right? Like that don't matter.
Please let this cash advance it. Please let this cash advance it.
Yeah, like yo, please make sure that this check doesn't come out at the wrong time and I have enough money to cover all of this and all the I prayed to certain things like that. You know, I don't have to explain. I don't have to explain at all because Jimmy Garoppolo has 4 touchdown passes or less, I believe, and like 5 and that same record that you guys are talking about right now, like for those same games. Many games, Jimmy Garoppolo did as much as the water girl who brings the Gatorade to people and just hand the ball off a bunch of times. QB wins are not a stat. Not in this household, not in this neighborhood, not in this city. So I don't know, man. Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to disrespect God.
No, never. But
I prayed to you when I put bets in. Please let this over hit. Please let this under cash in. I know that I've sent many things your way that don't matter.
Yeah.
But come on, God. Come on.
It's, and Jimmy Garoppolo is also 4-2 in the playoffs, not 5-2. And when you look at his regular season stats, he's got a 98 career passer rating as a quarterback for the 49ers. In those 6 playoff starts, the dude has a 74.1 passer rating. That's
so you care more about stats No, hold up. So you
quick
care more
math,
about stats
24.
than wins. Both you guys are bozos. No, it's about the
No,
fashion.
it's the
It's about the
reality.
fashion. Mac Worry Money Man. Oh man, you're what?
Yes,
Mac
98 passer
Wavy.
rating is legit. I
Mac
agree,
Wavy
but look
Money
at his
Man.
playoffs. He's not the same
Mac
player in the
Wavy.
playoffs.
Mac Wavy Money Man. That's a name that I'm not gonna like. You definitely like live with your moms and shit, right? Mac Maybe Money Man. You definitely been playing Elden Ring mad hard, right? On your PS5 and your Xbox. You've been going hard on that shit, right?
Bro, it's
Don't
I
play with me.
care
Don't
about the
play with me.
wins.
Obviously, right now,
I care about more wins than stats. But
fix your teeth.
we're talking
Fix
about
your
is
teeth.
he good? We're talking about
Hold
is
up.
he good? We're not talking
Fix
about
your.
his wins or his stats. We're talking about is he good? And I'm giving
Nah,
you data that says he
hold
based
up,
on
Leo.
individual performance, he is not good in the playoffs. I'm not talking about
Hold up,
team
Leo.
performance. Individual performance, he's not good in the playoffs. Like what's so hard to understand here?
Hold up, Leo. Fix your teeth. I will have sex with your mom and make me a sandwich, little man. Don't play with me. I'm a 6'5", gorgeous, handsome young man. Stop playing with me. Please, man. You on my stream. If you want to leave, you can leave. But I can have your girl. I can have your mom. I can have your auntie. I can have your grandma if she's still alive. So stop playing, man. Don't play with me.
Yes, a win is a win in a team, you know, game. This is a team game. A win is a win. You take those wins 100% of the time. But was it Jimmy Garoppolo that blocked the punt in Green Bay? Was it? I thought it
He
was
got the
Jordan
win.
Willis. Am I tripping?
He got the win now.
Yeah. Team stats. It's so wild to me. I love you, God, though. Like, straight
I
up,
would
I
kill
love
for
you.
Jimmy G over Hurts. God, you tripping.
Like, I got a cross tattoo right here. Like, I love you, God. You know, I hope that we could have, a better relationship moving forward. So we'll see. Jimmy
Hold
G
up,
outplayed Rodgers.
pull up that last one. Pull up that last one. Hey, Mac Wavy Money Man with the stupid ass face. Jimmy G threw for more passing yards in the second half than Aaron Rodgers did. I don't know if you watched the game. Get worked, get owned. You a dummy. A whole ass dummy, man. You out here looking stupid, man, because you didn't watch the game. You don't know anything about the stats. Jimmy G threw for 88 passing yards in the second half. Aaron Rodgers threw for 53. Make it make sense, bro. Stop it, man. Leo, cut this man off, bro. Get his ass out of here.
See, I appreciate you, God. I love you too. I do have respect for Jimmy G. My daughter actually has a Jimmy G jersey. The topic of discussion is Jimmy G a good quarterback. He's a fair quarterback. He's average. It's like when your credit score is a 620, like it's fair, it's average, but it's not good. It's not 700. And that's kind of what Jimmy G is. Like he's fair credit. Sometimes you could get approved for a loan, sometimes you don't get approved for a loan. And that's kind of the situation with Jimmy G is, sometimes he does help you win the games, and then sometimes he doesn't, but his team comes through, aka Jordan Willis. Like, there's no shame in that. Like, he's still the quarterback of the team that won, but is he the sole is he majority of the reason why he won? No, he's not. So, it's cool. I still love you, God. I appreciate every stance that you
No,
have.
but God said,
You're still my guy. I'm still
says,
gonna go towards you and
God
everything,
says,
but
God
this is
says Jalen
tough.
Hurts can't even get to his second option in the progression. Give me Jimmy G. I think you'll find that they have similar problems in terms of that. One guy can move though with his legs a little bit. So I don't know. Hey, look, God. Trying to put good karma out there, man. So I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
it's
If the Eagles want Jimmy, man, all they gotta do is give up their first round pick for the small amount of your first round pick. Oh wait, didn't they give that up already? Yeah.
so it's he put us up 29-28 in defense choked.
What game is this guy talking about? Did he play Madden? The game
Oh,
was like 13-10.
he's talking about week 3 versus the Packers.
The home opener. Man, that's
Yeah,
cute. That's real cute.
yeah, it's Jimmy Garoppolo. He also put up 17 in the NFC Championship game. He also put up 3 points in Green Bay, even though Robbie Gould truly had the 3 points kicking the field goal in the uprights in those weather conditions. But sure, Jimmy G, we could say he's responsible of those 3 points as well.
Hey, but hold up. Jimmy in the Green Bay game, he got them into field goal range, right? Like he made some throws.
Tennessee 94-yard game tying drive defense choke. Sure, yeah, it was Jimmy G who caught the slant route, ran it all the way up field until about like the 3-yard line. I thought it was Deebo Samuel, but I'm tripping. That was Jimmy G who did all that after the catch.
But again,
I'm tripping.
Okay, look, the Green Bay game, the divisional game, I kind of look, Jimmy made some throws that would have been interceptions, something like that didn't happen. But he also threw a pass to George Kittle that would have been like a large gain. He dropped. Literally the next play was another drop. Those are plays. Then again, when he needed to make the drive, Aaron Rodgers couldn't make it. Jimmy G did, and I'll give him that. He put them in field goal range. He did. I mean, that's all you could have asked for right there at that moment. Aaron Rodgers played one of the worst games of his life in that game. Mm-hmm. How much of that has to do with the defense? How much of that has to do with his own doing? I don't know. But at the same time, you still have to look at things objectively in that way. But in the same way that happened, right? The 49ers needed more plays in the NFC Championship game. You didn't get them. And now look what happened. If the offense was moving in the right, yeah. Right. Like if you were trying to end the game in LA, you could have many times. Everybody wants to blame Tart for the interception. The offense wasn't moving. So Tart intercepts that ball, he gets tackled right there, and there's whatever. Maybe it's in field goal range, you get a field goal. But that could have been 3 plays, 1 yard, like the way that offense was rolling. So again, the Rams weren't scared. The Rams knew exactly what at the end of the game, when there's 1 drive left, and week 17, week 18 aside, we're talking about like when everything's on the line, the NFC Championship game to go to the Super Bowl. The Rams weren't nervous. The Rams weren't scared. And why should they have been at that point?
So the offense scored 17 points. Why is it the defense costed a trip to the Super Bowl when your offense scored 7? How many games do you expect to win scoring 17 points? But it's on the defense, right? It's on the defense for putting up 17 points.
He misses juice in Indy. In Tennessee. He throws an interception in the red zone when that could have effectively ended the game or set them in a way where they can't, because then Tennessee has to throw the ball the entire time, and now you're just in a great spot. He threw an interception. It was just so bad, man. Like, it's just, again,
you trying this one out?
Jimmy Garoppolo. Yeah, he's right. But yeah, either way, it doesn't matter. Jimmy Garoppolo's still on his team. I don't know how we got back here. God is the one who's like making this happen, and I was always convinced that God had a grudge against me, and now it's like coming to the light now.
Hey God, like, once again, I love you. Please let despite this conversation, can my parlay hit tonight? Can my parlay hit tonight? And then maybe we can make an amends. We're in a good situation. If you want me to say Jimmy G's good, I'll say it. Jimmy G's good, man. He's a legend. I don't know why they're trying to move on from him. Honestly, they need to keep him, pay him that $27 million. There, I said it. You can screen record it. Because without the context, and hopefully my parlay could win tonight. What's your parlay then? Parlays are for suckers. You know what? Hey man, I'd rather throw 25 on a 4-team parlay than throw 25 on a 1-team deal, and you make more money that way. You obviously win less, but you end up profiting a little more as long as you know what you're doing. Yeah. So, well, this took an interesting turn, didn't it?
Nah, it was fun. I'm about to have dinner. I'm good. I don't know what to do. I mean, there's nothing I could do, right? Like, Jimmy Garoppolo's still on his roster. I'm not trading him.
I'll say this is, I respect everybody's opinion. My brother has some wild ass opinions that I'm just like, bro, like, don't ever create content or don't post anything on Twitter and tag me in it, thinking that I have an association with your thought making. So I respect everybody's opinion. Just because I get a little animated, certain conversation doesn't mean that I'm trying to call you stupid or whatever.
Yeah, Leo,
It's just
calm
um
down.
it's sports, dog. Like if we don't get animated in a conversation with sports, then what are we doing here? Like this is what we've done since kids. So it's nothing personal, nothing towards you. You believe Jimmy Garoppolo's the savior. That's fine. You're entitled to that, and I'm nobody to say that you're wrong. Especially if you're God. I'm definitely nobody to say you're wrong. I'm not even a saint. My name's Leo, but I'm
So
not a saint. So
so let's
let's get
ask
to this
God.
from Chris.
Let's look, but let's ask
Okay.
God though, real quick. I mean, you can get that up on the screen, but I want to ask God if Jimmy G is the quarterback for the Eagles. Are you guys winning another Super Bowl? Because you guys have won one fairly recently. Is that what's holding you back?
Oh, so God's a Philly fan.
Yes.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Okay, makes sense. Donation here from Chris Royal. Appreciate you for the donation. Keep spitting the truth, boys. Yo, God, you need to figure out Ukraine and not worry about Jimmy and his devilish good looks.
You see it. You see it, right?
I see it. I see it. Do you see it, God?
I'll take Jimmy G over Hurts, God said.
Okay. Our O line is good enough for Jimmy. Um, in the
Hey,
comments
yo,
saying
son,
false
I see
God.
you with the Knicks jacket on. Bing bong. Absolutely. Hey, you see these dogs out front of yard? Huh. Just know I'm upstairs going hard.
I remember I tried to do something towards that last week and it was a complete fail.
Why?
I don't know why. Hey, this was fun, man.
Yeah, it was. I had a blast. Let's
I kind of like these, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m.
let's do this
Eastern
again.
times.
Let's do this again next week. Leo, what do you think?
Let's do it. Let's do it again.
Oh,
Zaddy
okay.
ball, whether you agree with us or not, it's all good. Everybody got their own opinion. Let's do it.
God help us. Amen. Yo, things have gotten so dire for the 49ers that God had to pull up to the chat and be like, yo, y'all are in trouble, man. Like, you need some help. Like, you need to stop disrespecting Jimmy.
Who's a diabetic Drake? Is that me?
Me? I guess. Who said that?
I don't
Oh,
know.
don't ever
God.
disrespect Jimmy looking like a diabetic Drake. Oh, okay. I see what he's saying. Sweeter than Drake. Got it.
Sweeter than Drake?
Hey, look.
I don't
If
know.
you're here for the first time, which many of you are, God, any of you guys, make sure you like this video, subscribe to both of our channels, and like the video on both of our channels. Make sure you join the Spicy Squad so you could join the call-in shows that we're going to do this weekend. And shout out to everybody who pulled up today to hear us talk some barbecue. Yeah, that's it, man. That's it, man. The Knicks is diabetic Drake. I'm not a Knicks fan. I don't care, man. Like the jacket's hard. Like it's got the New York on the back. Like it's just kind of hard. Like I don't care, man. The Knicks suck. I would never pay $170 to sit on the roof of Madison Square Garden to watch them get scraped.
I'll say this is facts. Like I'm not going to pretend it's not facts. The crazy
I
thing,
hope
Kyle
so.
Shanahan has more football knowledge in the tip of his pinky
I
than
hope
we
so.
all do. Yeah, I hope so too.
Oh,
I believe so.
Uncle Salty, definitely see you in Vegas for the draft, my boy.
So talk about it. Drop it real quick for the draft.
Yeah, so 49ers Rush roadtrip.com is where you can get your tickets for where we're going to be pulling up. Elijah Mitchell, Fred Warner will be at the same party, apparently. So John Chapman, Leo, me, Grant Cohn, a bunch of people, and two of your favorite 49ers players will be there. So make sure you go on there. Make sure you type in that promo code APONTE, APONTE, so they know what sent you or whatever. And then, the second day we'll be doing something as well, too. But we will see you in Vegas. Anybody that's going to be out there for the draft, come say what's up. Let's grab a drink. Let's hang out.
Yeah, let's do it. I'll see you guys out there as well. Should be fun. Yes, Grant Cohn will be out there as well, but it's fine.
I'm sorry.
I guarantee
He got booked.
You have a conversation with him in person. I guarantee you it'll probably.
I guarantee you'll change your mind. Yeah. Man, walk up to him and be like, "Yo, you're a troll," and he'll still answer you correctly. I believe, man. So yeah.
Like meeting him in person, you don't believe he's the same guy online because I've known Grant from a personal level. Jason's learned Grant from a personal level, and he's just a professional pot stirrer. eventually at the end of the day, but just he's still a cool dude. Despite it, I'm sure you have a lot of friends in your life that are just complete on the opposite side of where you are politics. No matter if you're on the left or the right, I'm not going to talk about it, but I'm just saying we all have that friend that's just completely on the opposite of our beliefs. Next thing you know, when you're not talking about that, you're pretty cool buddies. Um, I'm pretty sure that you may have that conversation as well. But yes, his content is pretty, it is pretty out there.
I'll go with a
I'm not gonna
semi-open
lie.
mind. The alcohol will help. Nailed it. Boom. That's it. That's all you need to do. That's it. Uncle Salty with the best advice that you could probably give anybody in terms of any sort of situation, let alone this Vegas draft. 100%. Uncle Salty, man. That was you spin. That was fire.
But yeah, guys, it's if you haven't subscribed to Jason's channel yet, and if you're watching on his channel and you haven't hit the like button yet, make sure you go ahead and do that. If you are not subscribed to my channel yet, it's just Leo Luna. You can go ahead and subscribe to it, as well as go ahead and if you're watching on wherever, hit the like button as well. Any last comments here before we get going? We're at 1:10.
Nah, this is a lot of fun. I want to have some dinner. Let me go put Avery down. I got to get her a gift ready in the morning because her birthday's tomorrow. So yeah, I gotta build that while she's asleep because he turns 5 tomorrow morning. So yeah, got to get to it.
Ooh, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear.
5 is the big one, right?
It's a big one. I'm dealing with 10 this in May, so it's
I'll get
weird.
there.